Joining us now by telephone is the mayor of Royal Oak, Michael Fournier, with us on the MegaCast. Mayor, thank you for being with us today.
Hey, my pleasure, Tyler. Thank you for having me.
Appreciate having you on. So, an apartment development was okayed by was okayed at a former contaminated site in Royal Oak. It was a 32-unit apartment building that will be built on that site at Harrison and Delaware. Can you tell us about that project, how it came to be, and what Royal Oak residents can expect to when they see the final product of this building in their city?
Yeah. I think a little bit of historical context on this area. I mean, decades ago, this was a heavy industrial use area. Exactly what most of your listeners are envisioning in their mind. You know, lots of pollution, lots of brownfield redevelopment that needed to occur to make these properties viable. Over the years, we've really transitioned that part of town into what we'll call multifamily, which is more like your industrial lofts and your higher density, replacing that industrial properties with higher density projects. You've seen the Harrison go up there, some beautiful buildings. And this one is just part of the sequence that we see of folks coming in to invest in Royal Oak and really take advantage of this opportunity. You know, the site was contaminated. I think they said they removed 20,000 tons of soil from there. Cost the developer cost over $1 million to get all that out. And now, this proposal came to us, and it's really kind of cool because not only does it take a site and repurpose it for the growing demand of housing in Royal Oak, but it also takes care of an environmental issue. It has a green roof. It's managing stormwater way better than the site is today. And one of the conditions we put in there, too, was to have a couple of units there for veteran transition housing and attainable housing. And so, we need to meet the demands here in Royal Oak for people of all backgrounds and incomes. And that was another win for our community here with this project. So, I'm hopeful the developer, construction costs are crazy and everything's going on in the industry, but, he got the green light. And we look forward to the project coming to town.
We're joined by Michael Fournier, the mayor of the city of Royal Oak, joining us on the MegaCast. And so with any big project like this, especially when it's going to be 32 units, a lot of new people may be moving into the city, or people may be moving about the city to a more concentrated area. With that, in any community, you typically will see quite a lot of objection or concerns that are expressed. What were some of those concerns, and then how are those addressed by both the city and the developer in finalizing the project plans for this particular unit?
Yeah, I think change is hard. And whenever there's change, I think, rightfully so, neighbors and commissioners and mayors should ask, tough questions to understand, okay, here are all the positives that come with the project. Well, what are some of the downsides that we either have to accept for those positives, or that we can mitigate, through, smart planning, et cetera. You're talking 32 units. We have, when you think about how that property was used in the past as I think it was some sort of oil company. You had trucks going in and out of there all day. We've mitigated the truck traffic in that part of the neighborhood significantly. Our roads are designed to handle thousands of vehicles. And so I think when people think, 32 cars, coming in and out, that sounds like a lot, but in reality, you're not going to notice it, hardly at all. So the roads in that area are designed and they're planned to handle traffic, and I think that people just need to understand that, while there might be a slight increase, it's negligible in most of these cases, especially when you weigh it against all the environmental benefits we get and all the welcoming of new neighbors into our community, and how it lifts up property values in the area significantly, transitioning from industrial to residential.
And so, Mayor, you mentioned some of the concerns and the addressing of particularly the traffic issue with having so many units in one location, and people and a change in the traffic dynamics of the city. That also connects to another issue, which is the road diet in Royal Oak. That's a term that we've seen popping up here and there. It's kind of a new buzzword in construction and in city planning, and certainly in traffic control. You have a new road diet that's being applied to road construction in one of the busiest thoroughfares in the city at Rochester Road. Can you tell us about this road diet plan and how it intends to improve the traffic conditions in the city of Royal Oak?
Yeah, great question. I hate the word or the term road diet. If I were a branding person, I'd call it something a little different than its physical characteristics. If I came to you and I said, hey, look, there's an opportunity to redesign our roads that make it safer for pedestrians, make it safer for motorists, and make our neighborhoods more prosperous, and we can do that with minimal inconvenience or negligible inconvenience to drivers. Would you take me up on that deal? And I think most people would say yes. And so when we've had experience with this on Main Street, doing traffic calming, and I can tell you firsthand, I'm up there driving to the high school every single day with my kids. I have a daughter in the high school, and I got kids that play sports, and from lacrosse to swimming to soccer, we're up and down Main Street during rush hour. I have not noticed a difference in our transit time whatsoever, even during the rush hours. Traffic is slower, but it doesn't mean that we're getting to our destination at any length or longer time. So with Rochester, we had our engineers go out, bring in special consultation, really study it inside and out. And all the data, all the science, everything concludes that we can actually make this road safer, reduce crashes. We can make it safer for pedestrians to cross. We have a very walkable city here. We have kids going back and forth from schools or crossing Rochester, a 4-lane highway. It can be challenging sometimes. And we can also, take some of that pavement and put it back to green space, which, significantly reduces stormwater runoff, which is a big concern in Royal Oak. So we're talking about reducing the chances of basement water backups in the surrounding neighborhood. And so we get all these benefits, and what do we see? Well, we see that, at certain times of day, there might be a few seconds delay here and there, but if we retime the traffic lights, there should be, no negative impact to motorists getting to where they need to go, and they get there safer, and the pedestrians are safer, and our neighborhoods are more enjoyable. So I'm pretty happy about what we're going to do on Rochester Road. We had a lot of folks voice their thoughts, opinions, and concerns, and we took those seriously, and we asked those tough questions to our engineer. And we said, show us, hey, is there going to be cut-through traffic? The answer is no. Is there going to be, big backups and everything? The answer is no. And they had, I can't remember how many hundreds of pages of the study that there were, but it showed that, this is a good thing for the city. So those concerns, we share them, we ask the questions, and then we have to make a decision based on facts, and that's what we did, and we think this is going to be a win for everybody.
We're joined by Michael Fournier, the mayor of the city of Royal Oak, joining us on the MegaCast. And so with this proposal in place, with the plans that are in place for this quote-unquote road diet in Royal Oak, how long would some of these repairs, some of these changes, this refocusing of that thoroughfare take? Yeah,
we're going to start in 2023. It shouldn't take, hopefully during that construction season, we'll be able to complete it. And yeah, there will be inconveniences, when we start it and finish it with any sort of construction. But, we govern based on, the next generation, not just, the next month. So, yep, there's a period where it's going to be, a little challenging with construction, like we see on any road that needs to be repaired and upgraded. And by the way, Rochester road diet or not, would also be going under construction anyhow. We have the I-75 construction that has been, pretty painful for a lot of folks in this area. And so that will be around the same time, but nothing unmanageable. And so we'll have a few months there where things are a little tough, but I think the outcome of it, is going to be, all the benefits we get from it are just going to be well worth the patience of construction. And in the long term, because we have less road, we have less maintenance costs, we can plow the road quicker. There's a lot of other benefits just above and beyond safety that, we're bringing to taxpayers and to residents in the area.
More information on their website, romi.gov. That's romi.gov to learn more about the city of Royal Oak. We're joined by its mayor, Michael Fournier, on the Oakland County MegaCast, on your family of TV, radio, and other media outlets to join us each and every day for this program, including your radio homes, 89.3 WBLD Orchard Lake and 88.1 WBFH Bloomfield Hills. Mayor, another issue that arose recently in the news was a proposed pot facility that's just 88 feet away from the Oakland Schools Technical Campus Southeast in the Southfield in the Royal Oak area. They're asking for a public hearing to address this issue, try to find some common ground or some solutions to this issue of having a potential facility that close to a school facility. Can you touch on that issue a little bit and what the city's communications, both with Oakland Schools Technical Campus and with the owners of this particular property, have been thus far in trying to mitigate this issue?
Yeah, so a little bit of history. I mean, we've been sort of slow to implement, the voters' wish to have marijuana establishments in the city of Royal Oak. Voters overwhelmingly, like 70%, said, on the state ballot initiative that they wanted to legalize marijuana for retail, recreational establishments. We followed up with a survey, and, we said, okay, well, what did you mean by that, voters? And it was really clear, that they wanted these establishments. They preferred them to be in industrial zoned areas. And then we went to work writing our ordinances. So it's clear to everybody, the mayor and commission, we have been completely out of the application approval process. So we gave some overall criteria, for the city manager and his team to evaluate. We didn't want this to be a political process. We wanted this to be a process managed by public safety, by the city manager, planning, et cetera. So we went through that entire process. We put out zoning maps. We took in feedback from residents and constituents all over, and a map was put out, and an applicant came through, and I didn't know who the applicant was until a few weeks ago when the city manager published their recommendations. And I understand where everybody's coming from, but there are a lot of what I can say, because there's always litigation with marijuana. What I can say is that there's always nuances to everything, to zoning law, to definitions, to things like that. So the city is looking at that very carefully and making sure that we're trying to be fair to everybody that is affected, including the school, the petitioner. And we did have a public hearing at the Planning Commission, and this will be certainly brought to the table to the Royal Oak City Commission. I have to say, I mean, look, I'm not. I'm just the elected official. This isn't our full-time jobs and everything. Mm-hmm. I was hoping that, if Oakland Schools had some issues, they would have contacted us and reached out to us earlier in the process. I have yet to be contacted by Oakland Schools, but I'm open to hearing what their concerns are and to talk to them and have that dialogue. I've talked to our superintendent of Royal Oak Schools. We have a really good relationship. It's not that folks aren't being heard. I just think that when it comes to this legislation, it's new to everybody. It's really complicated. I think the folks that designed these bills from the state level, built in some complexities that, quite frankly, create a lot of issues. So I look forward to hearing what my fellow commissioners have to say, what the public has to say, and we're not. I mean, to be clear, the site plan is what's up for debate when it comes back to the city commission here in a month or so, or whenever it comes back. The applications were decided by staff.
We're joined by Michael Fournier, the mayor of the city of Royal Oak, joining us on the MegaCast. Mayor, just another minute or so before we'll say goodbye. At this time, any other projects, initiatives, or other news from Royal Oak that residents of Royal Oak and those in the surrounding area should be aware of?
Yeah, we opened up our Centennial Commons Park, a beautiful park. We're eager to see all of our friends from Royal Oak and neighboring communities come down and enjoy it. For the next couple weeks, we have a skating rink right outside our farmers market coming off Winter Blast. We encourage everyone maybe come down, see a show, have some dinner, and, take the family out and skate under some lights and music. It's really a cool thing, and we hope that's a mainstay for years to come. And so, as we start to, pull out of COVID, remember the unique businesses we have here in Royal Oak, the small business owners that have stuck it through this pandemic, and come out and show your support. We got something really unique going on here in Royal Oak, and we just can't wait to see everybody back.
Mayor, thank you very much for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me. Take care.